Hey folks, it's Mr. Parsons here. We just completed our Civil Rights Pick 2 activity, and now it's time to take a look at some of the best student work that was submitted under this assignment. Let's start with option number one. Option number one was a series of analysis tables where you were posed different questions. I want to highlight the work here of Jada from period number three. The question that was posed was this: to what extent are young people today taught to stay out of trouble and avoid getting in the way? Jada writes, today, younger people aren't taken seriously, even when they have really good things to say, and nobody thinks that they would be able to accomplish big things. I tend to agree with Jada's perspective here. When you look at government, there isn't a lot of representation of young people at the local, state, or national level. And young people are the ones that are ultimately going to inherit the world that we live in. So it's important to get their perspectives included. Jada, I really appreciated your thinking on this assignment. Also wanted to highlight the work of Jackie on table number two. Jackie from fourth hour was asked the question, imagine a society where you were not permitted to eat at certain restaurants, which is exactly what the characters face in the excerpt from March. How would that make you feel? Explain in 2 to 3 sentences. Jackie wrote, this would make me feel undeserving and less important. I would feel like my life didn't matter as much as the people that could eat at those restaurants. I'd think I'm less important because of who I am and that people could care less of what I think or how I feel. I think I would feel resentment towards the people that had that privilege of eating wherever they wanted to because I'd wish that I could do that too. I think about Jackie's response, and it makes me realize how deep the pain must have been for the people that were prevented service from eating at restaurants. Her empathy really struck me, and I appreciated the fact that she was able to put it in such a really kind of powerful way. So kudos to you for your work there, Jackie. Moving on to option number two, there were a variety of Jamboards for you to work on. And I just wanted to highlight some work on slide two. On slide two, Brian from my third hour writes, America has changed. There is no more racism. I mean, I don't know, it could still be racism, but we don't know. Who knows, right? Well, some other students responded to that. MV from my fourth hour wrote, I disagree with this person because racism is still going around and it's shown on social media and on the news. Just because it doesn't happen to you doesn't mean it has stopped. And somebody else from my fourth hour wrote, I agree with MV because there are stories of police brutality and discrimination against people of color. There are still examples of the past being present. The reason I think this is a powerful exchange is because it's a respectful exchange. We have a difference of opinion, and yet students are able to really kind of articulate their thinking in a respectful manner. And it allows us to have a conversation around a rather difficult topic. So kudos to Brian for getting the conversation started and to the others for responding. Nice job. I want to talk very briefly about some of the Flipgrids that I got. Esteban was asked to consider what it would be like to talk to John Lewis at a young age, and what would you say to him? And he said, after saying hi, of course, he would tell him how much he appreciates the work and sacrifice of John Lewis in the civil rights movement. And I thought that was really powerful because the bottom line is a lot of people have given a lot so that we can have the equality that we have now, even if it's not exactly where you or I might like to see it. So Esteban, I wanted to celebrate you and lift you up for a great response there. And then finally, when it comes to the Vocaroo, I thought Devante had a really, really powerful response. Devante was posed the question, what part of the text really jumped out at you? And Devante responded that he was affected by the scene in March where they asked the question, why are these people driving such a fancy car? Why are they allowed to have a fancy car? And he said that he felt like that was connected to how people could be treated today. He made me think with that, which was the purpose of this entire assignment. Great job to all, and congrats on some great